Greetings. I hope you guys have a drink, are very comfortable, because you're going to watch a record-setting performance that I had today. I'm pretty sure you're going to be thoroughly impressed. At least I hope you are. It was a pretty exciting sequence, and you're going to learn a lot by just watching these solutions. Some of them are tough as heck. The one you're seeing here is the last one that I got correct, and it was a 28.99. I was barely stopped by a 3,000 problem. So buckle up, get ready, and enjoy the show. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Welcome, future masters. Let's see if we can post a 50, shall we? Because I don't post less than 50s. So, whoops, checkmate. Dun 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 dun. I gotta take this. Pawn, bishop takes pawn. Whoops. Rook takes rook, checkmate. Whoops, another checkmate. Take the bishop, take the rook, clean the clock. Whoops, another checkmate. Oh, bishop. Bump and score. Let's bump him away and score with a checkmate. Ha ha ha. Whoops, another checkmate. Queen checks, king to g3, checkmate on h4. Queen takes h4 is checkmate. Whoops, bump and score. So for those of you who may be new, there's things that I have created, the terms anyway. Terms like bump and score. And the side rank mate. Wow, dude, this is a crazy thing. What are we doing? He's going to take my rook takes bishop. My father was like, what is he trying to do to me? The answer is rook takes bishop. So bishop takes knight. End that. Whoops, a checkmate. We're going to check this guy, sacrifice our knight to stop the queen, and then make a queen ourselves. You lose 7, 6, 8. He'll go to 7, and that's a forced win. I have videos of queen versus pawn on the 7th rank. You need to see that. It's very important stuff. Bump and score. Ay, ay, ay. Well, when it comes to king and pawn endgames, I'm more than a master. King to g6. I want to take this pawn. So it'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves the queen. It'll take him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He loses. Now, the thing is, what I have done, I'm going to tell you what I did, but I did it visually very quickly. This pawn stops this pawn. This king is going to eat this pawn. These 3 are going to beat these 2, but it's going to take him too long. I'm going to beat this guy, like I said, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. It takes him 6 to queen. When I queen, he gets to the 7th rank. I'm going to check him and stop this. So that's why I don't worry about it. If he moves this pawn, I'll take it with my pawn. Bam, queen. And then my technique will clean up the problem with those 3 pawns. So this knight check should be a mate, because I have this bishop on b7 on this long diagonal. Checkmate. Oops, another checkmate. Not a checkmate yet. But we have this beautiful move of bishop takes pawn check. And thank you for the queen. And thank you for the rook. It was a pleasure doing business with you, sir. Hey, ay, ay. Okay. Well, one of the things we can do here is win 2 pieces for a rook, which is not bad, because Right now, the material disadvantage is that I have a rook. He's got 2 pieces, but I do have 3 pawns and a rook against 2 pieces. I have 6 pawns. He has 3 pawns. So I can't play queen takes bishop because he plays queen takes rook. However, we can take the bishop if we do something that I call, and I made up this term as well, removal of liability. This rook is a liability and subject to capture. So we do this. Capture with check. Queen takes bishop. And there you go. We won 2 pieces for a rook. I'm just going to queen this pawn. C2 and then C1. He cannot stop it. The best he can do is get behind it here. And then I have to just queen it. He take it, and I want to win this rook for a pawn. He can't take my knight. And if I play knight to c5, he plays king to d2, killing this pawn. He stops the queening, and it's bad news for me. So queen. And knight takes rook. Whoops, a checkmate. Okay, so now, got to be careful. Unfortunately, this doesn't do anything yet. We don't have a trick. We have knight e2 check, king to g2, and we're doing nothing. Just in case you're wondering. Also, what else do we have? Queen takes rook check is no good. He just goes queen takes queen. We don't have anything. We have knight to h3 check. Again, it doesn't really do anything because king g2. And we don't have another move that is awesome. So, we have to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, I don't know. Let's think about it. Well, we can check that guy. Well, we can knight e2 check looks decent. But knight takes d4 doesn't actually win anything. Like, knight takes d4 would be fine. If we could, well, if we were doing something of value. Knight to d5 is a very good square for the knight, but it's really not doing anything particularly special. Oh, yes, we do have something. And this is a thing. Don't play chess with your eyes. We play chess with our eyes very much, and we want to play with our brain. So if I check this guy on h3, king to g2 is a good move, okay? Now, if he goes king to h1, that's a mistake. Knight h3 check, king to h1 is a mistake because I'd play queen takes rook check, queen takes queen, and then knight would take f2, forking the king and queen. So, knight h3 check, king h1 is a mistake, so king to g2. Here's the thing I have. I have knight takes f2. You're saying, well, that's just stupid. He's just going to take your knight, and queen takes knight, and that's what I thought. And then I realized, if he plays queen takes knight, I play queen takes rook. And so I'm winning this pawn. I'm setting up also a discovered attack if he doesn't take it. So, what the heck? That's the winning move, dude. You got to be kidding me. That is absolutely winning. This is checkmate. I'll come back and look at that. I'm telling you, that was a checkmate. This is a checkmate. This pawn formation right here with this rook here is a checkmate because he doesn't have a side-stepping ability. So, well, if I go rook to e8 check, rook takes rook, rook takes rook check, rook takes rook, he wins a free rook. So I just kill one of these rooks with check. Now it's checkmate. That was a destruction of a defender. Check here. And then what? A good question. Good question. What is the move? The move is win an exchange. Queen takes rook check. And then knight takes queen. And then take the bishop. Okay. What's going to happen is we're going to work to get to the shepherd square, which is b2. We're going to box this guy all the way out. This is the shepherd square. This is another term that I invented. Once you get here, he cannot block your pawn. Whoops. This move, bishop c f4 would be good, but he has a good move, rook 2 to d2. That's a good move, and he's not destroyed. This one, he's destroyed, because this forces his king away from his rook. Checkmates him. Oh, by the way, checkmate. Now, we have this check, and this sets up a different kind of windmill. Bishop takes free knight, discovered check. It's also mating. Now, rook to here. Oh, actually, that's not good. He'd play rook, knight, bishop. He'd play bishop to g6. I'm just going to checkmate him. Don't get fancy. Knight takes bishop. Watch what happens. I'm going to use this f6 square to block this piece. Hey, wait a second. He takes her the queen. Oh, it's the same thing. If he takes with the knight, if he took with the knight, I'd check him and take his knight. But he went with the queen, so I'm just going to check him. Hey, wait a second. I can't do that. Wait a second. What was I going to do here? I don't remember. Okay, I got to think about this. I can't play check here because he just goes queen takes. That was my original idea. What in the heck am I doing? Queen checks here is no good. Oh, no, queen takes queen is correct, and I'm going to win his bishop. It diverts the knight from the defense of f6, and I fork his rooks. Ugh, I was losing it mentally somehow. He has 2 defenders of this knight. I have 3 attackers. Well, it doesn't take Bobby Fischer to figure out that rook takes knight, queen takes is mate. Can't take it. Well, that's okay. I can still play this, possibly. Rook takes bishop, king takes rook, queen to e1 check. Well, what do we have a rook for a bishop and a knight. Check, and then he could go to d3 or c2. And if he goes to c2, I would check him. He'd go to b3. Check here. Queen to e1 check. King to d3 is suicidal because queen to c3 is mating. So check, king to c2, rook to e2 check, king to b3, I guess. Queen checks here. This is a destruction sacrifice. Yeah, exactly. He had to do it. I calculated he was destroyed. Wow, what to do here? Good question. E6. I don't think E6 is the right move. Well, E6. E6. If he plays Rook takes E6, Rook D8 wins the Queen. So E6, Rook takes E6 is no good. Queen takes E6 is Rook takes Queen. So F takes E6, Rook to D7, threatening checkmate. That's a queen. Not an easy win, but it's winning. Okay, got to be careful. We're good. Just going to play a basic move. F5. The knight is pinned to the rook. Rook has one defender. We have two X-ray attackers that hit this guy. So F5. He can check me. I would just play bishop takes and it's over. Okay, Bobby Fischer. We could do that, actually, but there's no reason to play bishop takes. Let's just play pawn takes. This guy is a freak. We can't take his knight. He takes my bishop. I'm not in the trading even business. So bishop takes pawn. I'm winning one way or the other. I win an exchange. That's all I'm really worried about. I was just trying to win the exchange. Okay, so now what? Well. We have some moves here. We have knight to e4, discovered check, attacking this knight. My queen attacks this knight already. So I go knight to e4, discovered check. You know, he could go king to there, king to h2. I don't like that. I don't like that kind of thing. Okay, so what? That's what my dad would say. So what? Maybe it's knight to g4, sealing the king in to h1. Knight to g4 check from the bishop. King to the corner. Queen takes queen. Not queen takes queen, right? That's not good. He doesn't. He can play knight takes queen. If he played rook takes, I'd checkmate him. Well, that's what I'd like to do. Knight e4, king to h2. Knight takes knight. There you go. Knight takes knight is the move. It is knight to e4. I'm going to get in with an in-between move. Knight to e4, king to h2, because double attacking the knight. Knight takes knight. Oh, actually, he doesn't have any defenders on that. He's threatening this. That's his problem. I can't do that, but I can. Oh, queen takes knight check. Okay, that was that f7 was a problem. Whoops. Queen a8 mate. Whoops. Queen takes rook mate. Gotta watch those whoopsies. Well, now queen here is checkmate. So if the queen moves, the queen has to move to here. If the queen moves. Let's see. Well, we could also play bishop takes knight, because queen takes queen doesn't work because we play knight takes. All right? That's another possibility. But I don't think bishop takes knight is a winning move for us. Because bishop takes knight, queen takes bishop. I haven't gained anything on that. Oh, but if we don't take that bishop, he's gonna take my queen, and I'm doomed. Doomed. And I'm thinking that bishop takes queen is a good move. I mean, bishop takes knight. I'm thinking that's a good move. Followed up, possibly. By knight to f4. Yeah, knight to f4 attacks this queen and threatens to play this check as well. That's not the greatest move in town, but he should be able to guard. Oh, I got a rook guarding it, so he's in trouble. Whatever, broski. Okay, so here's an interesting check. King takes, queen to b4. The only defense, if he goes backward, is checkmate on e8. c5, en passant check, which is very rare. And en passant check. And checkmate. I'm sure you guys all know about en passant. And it's French, that's the correct pronunciation. In English, it would be en passant. Well, we have an interesting move of e6 threatening a checkmate. Discovered attack, checkmates here. The bishop is guards the knight, so we're good. So e6, he probably has to play f6, and then we should probably play e7. Threatening the queen. Then we need to work on playing something good. Gotta watch out for this freak. Is he doing anything over here? Well, that would do it, but I can just play this little move of rook captures knight. Then he's got rook to d1, that joik. He's some kind of a joik, I'm telling you. Ah, man, what a freak. So, let me think what to do here. What is the move? Rook to there is no good. I may have to play g3 in between move just to kick this queen off of the diagonal. Because I need to play rook takes. I need to play rook takes e6. Oh, I can play rook takes e6. He can't check me. I just go back rook to e1 and it's guarded. Goodbye. Goodbye. Look at the whole board. That's the lesson. Look at the whole board. Don't go to sleep. Is his queen, well, not exactly trapped. It's almost trapped. I've got f4, queen h4, bishop e1, queen to h3. Queen to h3, and then what is the question? Don't know. Well, we also actually have knight takes f7, king takes f7. No, that doesn't work. f4, because he'll take this. I was trying to overpower the g6 square. So, h4, queen takes here. Bishop, well, actually doesn't do much, does it? What am I doing? h4, I'll just play f4, stupid. f4. He's forced again to play queen h4, bishop e1. And then queen h3, rook f3. Bishop to e1. Rook to f3. Knight takes queen. Sucker. Man, I was trying to be too fancy. You don't have to be fancy. Just do your business. Okay, so I'd like to play knight c6 check. But the problem is I got this liability of this rook. So, you know, he'd go king d7. I would take it. He'd take mine, and I didn't get anything. I just traded even. So, what if we play... Wow, this is a heck of a move. Rook to c4. It also prevents him from checking me. Rook to c4. Now I'm threatening to play the heck out of knight c6. So, this is going to be almost a 2100 problem. Not a big deal. For those of you who may not know this, those green squares and red squares, they tell you the rating of the problem you played. Green is success, red is strike. 3 strikes and you're out. So I think this is the killer move. Now, Forcola. Goodbye, Charlie. Oh my goodness, what is this guy doing? All right, check this out. There was a famous game that was played, and it was Dr. Tarosh was one of the guys. It was a double check. He sacrificed a queen as white. He sacrificed his queen on d8. Well, this is the reverse of this. So, and the point was he played bishop double check. So I'm playing a bishop to b4 double check. If he goes king to d1, rook here is checkmate, okay? But he's going to play here. And there's a key move, is bishop to, no, I can't play that because the rook is there, that jerk. So we could play bishop checks here. If he goes king f2, bishop to c5 check, can't go back because the rook guards it. And he has no moves. But he has d4, we take that. Yeah, it's over. See, the trick in this one is to play bishop to d6 check, which wins the queen. But right now, you're a queen down. You're actually going to lose a bishop. You'll take the knight back. You'll be even. I don't want to even. I'm checkmating this guy. Crunchy. Check. That's what I'm talking about. All right. My spidey senses tell me knight. That doesn't really work well. We are the exchange down. So, I'm looking at knight g4 check. Well, he can go. The problem for us is he can play king to b6, which is not helpful to me at all. I'm trying to win something here. I'm not trying to goof around. I'm not here to play hippity hop at the barber shop. However, you know what? Sometimes you just let him take it. Let's go knight b5 check, king to here, b6. Let's look at rook to d6 check. King takes knight, okay? But look, where can he go? He can't go anywhere. a4. Isn't that not checkmate? That's what I was looking at. This pawn is super protected, guarding those two guys here. That bishop guards this. Checkmate. So sometimes you let him take it, and that was one of those times. That was fairly awesome. Oh man, this could be nasty. We have bishop takes b6 to clear the squares for the rook if we need it, but I don't think we need it. I'm thinking the move is knight takes e5. The reason why is that we have all kinds of moves, like queen to h5 check is a threat. And if our knight's on here, g6, knight takes g6 is winning. We might need the option of playing bishop to c5. I'm not sure. If knight takes, he has two choices. Take it or not take it. If he takes it, it's not good, bro. If he takes it, queen to h5 check, g6, queen takes e5, and he's smoked. We'll take this rook in the corner. If we check him and he goes king to e7, bishop to c5, we don't want to trade this knight. So knight takes e5, pawn captures, queen checks. If he doesn't allow us to one of the things that happens, you go queen h5 check. If he blocks it, he opens this line for the fork of his rook. And our bishop prevents him from going to f7. So knight takes e5, pawn takes, queen checks. King e7, we'd go bishop c5. If he goes g6, we're going to go queen takes e5. This is a killer move. Okay, he's removed the bishop that guarded f7, but that's okay because I don't care. I'm not in the business of worried about a stupid bishop. I'm going to checkmate this guy. This is my business. My business is checkmate, and business is good. Oh man, this guy's walked into another double. This is the Dr. Tarash double check. Queen to e8 check. King takes. Bishop to b5 double check. It's mate. Is it not? It's mate. I'm sorry, it's mate here. It is mate. Wow, earlier I did the video that finished in a double check and mate with a queen. The queen sacrifice double check, and then I got to play it here. The other problem we had before was where we were down a queen and we double checked and won. Yeah, it was fantastic. So wait a second here. Oh, this is just a checkmate. You're like, how is that a checkmate, sir? Here's how. This rook is pinned, right? Can't move. I'm going to pile up on it right here. And then I'm going to take this with check and then rook checkmate him right there on a8. Yeah, he sees it. Guess what? It's still checkmate, Charlie. Now watch this one. I check him, king e7, check. He goes to f6. I take his pawn. He takes my bishop. I take his bishop, and I'm winning. No, he didn't want to trade bishops. Whatever. You lose either way. I don't care. All right, now we are on fire. I'm like rook to h6 check. It just jumps right out at me. Followed by a potential queen to e5 check, which also jumps out at me. I'm sorry, this is just winning. He's got one move, which is one of my rules is that when you're pursuing a king with check, when he has only one legal square that doesn't lose, you're probably winning. So he's going to be able to play knight here when I queen check him. Yeah, well, good luck with that. I'm going to hit him. His king will be on g7. I'm going to hit him with bishop to g5. Forget you, sonny. Queen checks, knight f6, and bishop to here. And the problem is he can defend with rook to f8 on this bishop, on this knight, but the bishop and rook attack first. So I'm going to kill his queen. Oh, that's fantastic. That can't be good. How about rook to e6, double attacking this? It does nothing. Okay, never mind. I'm trying to play rook, bishop to h6 check, which is good, but it's not that good. Here doesn't do anything. I got queen checks. He has to play this, which is, probably good. Not super good, but it's probably good. Let's go. Queen check. This is not forced, but it's probably best. If he goes back to g7, I hit him with bishop. And he's really going to be, he's destroyed. He can no longer play knight f6 because I would just take it off with rook takes knight. So check, queen to e7. I want to say rook to f6 check, knight takes f6, bishop to h6 check. And I don't know if I have anything here. It doesn't look good, does it? That does not look good at all. That clearance move is not a bad idea, but it's not winning either. Well, rook to e6 actually is just a clearance move, but that's a good clearance. He's got knight takes bishop, which I don't like. I do not like that move at all. So that's not the move. Queen takes knight is also not the move. Queen check, queen to e7. I'm just feeling like, queen d6 check, queen e7. How about rook to e6, attacking this queen? He takes it, I check him. I mean, it's not a lot, but he can't interpose. He has to go. He doesn't have to go there, but he goes here probably. Man, I feel like I'm missing something that I should not be missing. That knight is a strong defender, as you can see. Racking my brain. Well, what if I go rook to h8? That doesn't do much either. But bishop to h6 is a nasty threat. If he takes it, queen takes, king to e7. If he goes queen to g8, I go bishop h6, queen f7, and that doesn't do anything really. King f7, I mean rook to there. I mean queen to e5. Oh no, I would just take his. No, I can't do that. Man, this is really tough. This is one of those make it or break it puzzles. Let's see. Let me see the flavor of what's going on here. Yeah, that check was killer. Rook to e6, again, like I said, it really doesn't do anything. But it does threaten bishop h6. Can he stop that? I think he can. Oh, well, actually, rook e6. We're not threatening rook takes bishop. We're threatening bishop h6. The point is we play bishop to h6 check, and he puts his rook there, and his bishop takes rook, and then when he takes it, I take his rook takes bishop. He has just all kinds of, or I play rook takes bishop check, and then queen takes my rook on e8, and then queen takes g7. So I am threatening to win with rook to e6. I was originally thinking it was rook takes e8 as the move. That's not what I'm threatening. He could go where? I don't know. I don't think he has a good move now. I thought he had a good move, but I don't think he's got one now. It doesn't matter. He can't stick anything he sticks here. I'm still going bishop to h6. Okay, I have no idea. Well, this is nasty right here. This is six ways of nasty. That was easy. Man, bishop check, followed by queen checks here. If he goes to there, I check him. Once you've seen this combination a few times, it becomes standard business. Look at this, queen g5, you're screwed. Oh, he's got queen g3, but that doesn't work. Don't you agree? Oh man, now what are you gonna do, Bobby? Hey, you know, I had that video, when not to take. I could probably take this. But he takes with check, I take, and he plays f4 check, and he gets out. So, f6, terrific sacrifice. When not to take, look at king to f8. I'm now threatening checkmate on the move. He has no defense. f4 to run, queen takes free queen. When not to take, well, this is when not to take. Oh, dude, this is also double nasty. Queen takes, what do you call it? Queen takes bishop. He has nothing, right? Queen takes bishop. I mean, I don't know. Bishop takes bishop. Bishop takes bishop, maintains the mating threat. So again, if he pushes his pawn, I take his queen. If he takes my queen, I checkmate him. So that was another example, a beautiful example of when not to take on problem where I had 45 victories. So that was number 46. Well, he's threatening to check us. Not a big deal. We have queen c8, king to e7, bishop to a3. And I'm just carving this guy like a turkey. Where are you going? After bishop a3, what do you got? Queen c8. Look at all these squares. I own all these light squares here. I own these back row squares. He's only got e7. a3. He's going to play b4. Bishop a3 check. Checkmate. Bump and score? Really, dude? Bump and score. So this would be 47, 48, 49. This is the 50th problem. And there's a bump and score. And you saw me just eat it like candy. I'm just going to make a queen over here. There's nothing he could do. Now, watch it. He's trying to get to the shepherd square. So normally I say I'm in the square of the pawn. I don't want to move my king unless he moves the pawn. Well, in this case, he's moved to the threatened shepherd square. He goes here. Bing, bang, boom, he queens, there's nothing I could do. So we stop it. B3, B2. I am more than a master. I am like a super robot on king and pawn endgames, and I try to explain that to you guys. Oh, man, this is nasty. Look at this. Rook takes pawn, check. Rook takes rook. Knight forks. Ha ha. I can take your rook. It's also got another, it's not another value to it. Don't take your rook. I checkmate you. That was a sneaky one. There's a 50. We're going to post this one. All right? So your guys your perseverance, like mine, has paid off. We have scored a 50, and these dudes are super hard, as you can see. You saw some of the moves I played. The last two problem was a 2700. The previous one was 2650. The two before that were both 2600s. You see the problems. It's hard to bust 50. These problems become tough. Rook takes h6 check is obvious. Bishop takes. Rook takes check. King to here, g7. And then rook, whoa. Rook to g6 check. King to the corner, checkmate with the queen. You got it? I don't even care what he's threatening. I don't even care what he's threatening. My bishop guards this rook. My queen is slicing. So check here. It's a toughie. Do I go? Rook to h7 is my natural move. King to f8. The problem is, I don't know. I gotta double check this. I know this is mating. Check here. Yes, if he goes to f8, this queen check is vicious, followed by this rook, this queen check here, or rook check. This is the move. Queen check, king e7 forced, rook check. Goodbye, Charlie. 51. All right, my record is 52. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So, what? Okay. Check. King to g1. Rook takes rook. If he takes this, it's mating and cleaning of the clock. Check if he goes to here. We have g4 check. King to h4. And I want to say goodbye, Charlie. With queen to f6 check. And king takes, here would be check as well. I guess it's not 100%. There's probably some sequence that if you knew it, you'd be able to visually just big bang boom, but I don't know this pattern specifically. So I'm having to calculate said pattern. Got to watch out for a queen takes rook as well, just as a helpful reminder. Queen f3 check is calling my name because he'd like to play f3 as a defensive move. I know I would. Also, these pawns here lead me to believe that this is the right move. It's so, potentially good to have this queen out here maybe. But anyway, queen checks. He has two choices. He goes back in the hole. Like I said, rook takes rook. He's got to take it, and then I just checkmate it. I'm just destroying him. So really, he's not going to go backwards. That just loses. He's got to go forward. Got to go here, and I check him. He goes here. And inconveniently, this H pawn prevents us from just slamming a rook over here and mating. That'd be too easy. Check, king to h4. Dude, he's got to be doomed. Oh, yeah, king to h4. We check him. I don't like, man, I just hate blocking my own guy to lay a stupid check on this dork. Check, we check him again here. He'd have to go to h4. We check him. Oh, man, that's the problem. Well, rook takes, check. He just goes here. It's the same business, right? See, this is what happens. You have to look at all this garbage. This is why you never see grandmasters smiling in a real tournament. There's no room for smiling. Let's just look at it. Rook takes rook. Rook takes rook. Queen takes f2 check. Oh, actually, yeah, queen takes f2 check is fine. We're just winning a rook there. Why wouldn't we just win a rook? If we play rook takes rook, he can't capture it back. He has to play queen takes rook, doesn't he? I mean, he's just losing his queen for a rook. Which isn't bad, I mean, but he's got a knight and we don't, so he's going to end up having a rook and a queen. So it's either rook takes rook or queen to f3 check. And queen to f3 looks really nasty, but rook takes rook is like rook takes rook, queen takes rook. I don't know, man. I don't. Oh, maybe. Let's go queen f3 check. King to h3 is forced. All right, we have another possibility. Then we could play rook takes rook. I guess, I don't know. And if he plays rook takes rook, we're not going to get that check. I'm just telling you, rook takes rook. He plays queen takes rook check. We're going to play king takes queen. He plays rook takes rook. We don't have. Yeah, I think queen f3 check is the right move because this stops queen takes rook. Queen to f3 check, king to here. We play rook takes rook. He could play rook takes rook. You can't play queen takes because we play king takes, he takes, and then we play queen takes. We're knight. So that's why I think this knight is here. Because a queen to f3 check seems to be the correct move. We can't win the, we can't win the rook though. But that may not be the big deal. I just think that this queen takes rook is a legitimate response to rook takes rook, queen takes rook, check, we take it, he takes it back. And look, we have a queen against a knight, but his knight is like superbly placed. And he'd play rook to e3, and there's literally nothing we can do to this position. He's got a super knight over there. I mean, in a game you could win this, but it would be long and difficult. We're not here for a long and difficult problem. So this is not the right way of playing rook takes rook. I'm just telling you this. This is my spidey senses telling me this is not the move. Queen takes rook. You got to know these defense. You've got to spot these killer defensive moves like he's got. So I think queen f3 check is the move. And the whole game is going to revolve around that move. I'm going to play it. You see, that's the move. And that move is stupid. We already said that move is stupid. What are you, stupid? That move is stupid. I told you. I told you he was going to play it. Ugh. But I was over there working on this checkmate concept that didn't really pan out. Ah, dude. If I could get the queen here profitably, that's a checkmate. So we have tied the record. This is going to be a great one. We need to see if we can bust it. That was a 2800 problem, and you saw that was a difficult dude. This is what the kind of stuff I have to deal with. Well, look at this. Queen f3 check. I'm going to eat that bishop. Oh, wait a second. No, I'm not. You freak. I thought I was going to eat it. Never mind. Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. I thought I was going to chow down on a bishop. How annoying. Now I could go queen f3 check, king c4, queen e2 check. He's got a problem. Because if he goes king to b4, I will eat that. I will eat that bishop, okay? But if he plays rook to d3, then I play rook to d1, and that rook he's got queen to d8. What a freak! Ah, well, that's a good question. Oh, Oh, that almost works. That so almost works, you jerk. This is going to be a 2900 ballpark. The good news is I've beaten 2900s before, but they're super difficult. They're all super difficult, man. All right, it's calling my name of queen f3 check. However, I don't think that's the right move. But I don't know. We're still going to work on it. Queen e2 check. Queen f3, king c4, queen e2. Like, this gives you the workout on your visualization like you wouldn't believe. So, rook to d3. Oh, that seals him in is what it does. So yes, queen f3, king c4, queen e2, rook d3. It's not that I'm winning this rook. It seals him in. That's what I like. I hope. That might be useful as a sealing move. I don't really have anything else. Queen to e4. He just goes back to d4. That's no big deal. Queen to e6 check. He could play rook to d5, I guess. Man, I just can't get any help. I don't have any pawns that can help me. Oh, well, now that's an interesting move too. Rook d1 check. What about... Oh man, what a nasty move. Rook to d1 check. If he goes king to c2, queen to b3 check. It's my white square diagonals that are potentially killing this guy. Because then he doesn't have a move. He's checkmated. So rook d1, he cannot go to c4 or c2. Going to c2, it's a checkmate on queen to b3. So he's got e2, which I guess is what we're really looking for. And I'd have queen to h5 check, defending the rook. And where are you going, Bobby Fischer? Looks like king to d1 check is the move. I mean, rook to d1 check. Look, that's illegal. King to c2, queen to here is checkmate because I just guard everything. This queen is devastating. The rook is here. The pawn is here, killing him. Rook checks, king e2, queen h5. Because this rook cuts him off here when he's on e2. This pawn is killer on e3. You're smoked, dude. Okay. Queen to b3 check. No, that's not right. Queen to f3 check. Jackpotto. Well, maybe not. No, this is the right thing. We're white square destroying this guy. That's the key. queen to b3. He's got queen to c3, which I don't like. Oh, man. Queen to f3 check. He's got king to c4. Ah, yes, you see this right here? This pawn and this rook. If his king goes to here, queen to b3 is an automatic checkmate. I taught this to one of the other guys here on YouTube, the Brontologist. This is a checkmate. So queen f3 check. King to c4, queen b3 is checkmate. King to c2, again, as before, it's checkmate. He's toast. I got him. When you put your queen here, if the 2 knight moves away from that square on the corner of the 3x3 matrix that king sits in, it's a checkmate. Queen b3 is a forced checkmate. He can't move. A new record. We are literally on fire. All right. Now, here's an interesting idea. Check king to yes, I'm thinking this check here, e5 check. King g3, the only move. h4 check. He has no other move but to take. Or actually, if he does it, I could fork him, but I think I'm mating this guy. I think I'm mating him with this check here. e5 check, king g3, h4 check, king takes is forced. Bishop f2 check. He blocks it with the pawn. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Or rook. Either one's the same. And then rook to here is checkmate. Wow, this is actually also nasty. However, we need to sack the pawn. h4 check. King takes. Bishop checks. And he's toast. We need to open this line for this rook. My original plan wasn't to do that, but then I decided, hey, you know, I've seen this kind of stuff before, and you're checkmated, buddies. Rook takes rook, checkmate, 54. Ha. Okay. Well, he is screwed, right? Not 100%, but I think he's screwed. Yeah, this is one of those kind of screwballer problems. He's not mating me. I'm going to mate this guy. He's going to get checkmated is what's going to happen. But you got to do it right. I want to play g4 to threaten this checkmate. He'd play f5. And then I could check him here. He goes here. King f6. Let's go rook over to here and check him. I think he's getting away. Well, let's just go rook back to this square and check him. Now he's got to go like here. Pawn takes check. That's bad for him. King to here. Got to check here. Actually, we would just seal the deal. So I'm thinking that the moves are check, king to f6, rook back to f7 check. We don't want to check him. He's going to he'll seep through those dark squares. So we want to check him, force him this way, so we can play pawn takes pawn with check. He goes here, check. Well, actually, oh, we can't. Well, that's all right. Oh, that was wrong? My bad. Well, it doesn't matter. 54, butt kicker. Are we supposed to check him? If we take this with check, he goes to h5. Oh no, maybe we're supposed to play rook takes and then we're mating him with h5. h5 would threaten mate. He'd have to play h6. I mean, he'd have to play h5 himself. Let's find out. What a boo-boo, but nobody's perfect. It doesn't matter. I set a new record. That's all that matters to me. Almost got him. Yes, rook takes. My gut reaction was not to take with the rook. Okay, you got me. I did figure it out after the fact, but, you know, whatever. You can't complain. The problem is the amount of effort you have to exert on these problems. After 60 problems, ballpark, it gets old. It's hard. That's why chess is tough. Man, I swear I had this. Yes, I saw this. Ah, I did not see that. Idiot. It's a checkmate. If he takes queen, bishop takes here, he goes here, bishop takes his checkmate. You got me, dude. I missed that move. Rook to h7. I did not look at that move ever. That's an awesome move, right? I looked at everything except rook h7. I'm like, I'm not going to give my rook away. Yes, not. It's guarded. Ugh. Oh, well, whatever. Mistakes were made. Yeah, I took knight with knight h3. Oh, geez. That's way easier. That never occurred to me. I go, yeah, I'll just check him, and I don't have anything except blocking the rook. You idiot. Who knows what I could have had? Oh, well. Another great lesson. I messed up that problem. And did it bother me? 54 says it did not bother me. I was on fire. Oh, that was the 3,000. I almost got this dude. I've beaten a 3,000 problem before. This was over an hour and absolutely fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. It was the best it's the best I've ever done. So it's my new high score. You guys have seen it. Take a while to post this because, you know, it's an hour video. So go back and look through these videos. I mean, look through these problems. Make sure you understand what you didn't understand the first time you saw it. You're not going to understand everything. I'm living proof. I mean, I did 57 and 3 of them got me. So 54 were correct. 3 strikes and you're out. I hit 54 home runs today. That's how I look at it in a baseball context. So look through those problems. You know, work on your visualization. When I make those moves and tell you what's happening, are you seeing those moves coming? You know, bump and score, side rank checkmate, etc. So terrific. Please like the video. It'll help out a lot. Tell your friends, but don't tell your enemies. This is how they get strong. You guys, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe because this is what I do, and it's pretty awesome. Talk to you guys later. See you around.